Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today we're going to review a little bit of a procedure that I go through in fixing, well, crap. Yeah, today I'm going to take a look at a two-wheel dolly that I bought a little while ago. And the first thing I realized when I bought it was the price was far too low to the quality it could possibly be. And of course, when you buy one of these two-wheel dollies, you know, for moving stuff around, or a fridge or an appliance, or I'm going to show you what I was going to move around here this morning that just didn't quite work out. And you end up with a flat tire because 99% of these are just built like crap. And so that's what I'm fixing today. I'm fixing crap, and I'm going to fix a leaky tube because I'll take you out here. I'm going to show you what I was moving today. And well, yeah, I knew for sure when I bought this it was just bogus. So, you know, that's what you get when you buy crap, right? So let's go out here, let's take a look at this pile of crap and how we're going to fix it. Okay, so here's my old dolly here, and you can see the tires on it. Well, they are run flat tires. They never go flat. I've had this this rig here about 30 years. Never have a problem with it. But I seen this on sale, and I thought, you know, that's a good design, really. You know, you can see the, you know, the arm that comes out, and you can fold that up. And so what I was doing was transporting these bags of soil. So I thought, you know, that's a good idea. You can put them on there. So the first time I put it on, I come over, and yeah, flat. So I thought, okay, well, it's been sitting there for quite a long time. The other one isn't flat. And I thought, okay, let's put some air in it. So I put some air in it. I put about, well, half this pile on here. And then I unloaded the bags, brought it back, went to the back of my truck, went to load the other half on. Guess what? Tire was flat. So today we're going to take a look at that tube and how we're going to fix, well, crap. Okay, so I got my tube patch kit, and you know, like you can tell by looking at this, it's never been used, right? The only thing I did was I put down how many psi go in it because the lettering is so small. I thought, okay, now you can see that this is completely flat. And if you take a look at the other side, yeah, she's hard as a rock. So all you have to do is just take the cotter pin out there, and then we're going to mount it in the vise. And I'll show you how that's done. Then we're going to take the tire off, take a look at the tube, or maybe I can just slip the tube out without dismounting all the tire. We're going to take a look. But yeah, this is what you can expect when you buy a really low cost, you know, dolly that is really like not even, well, I don't even think this is good enough to be called consumer use, because, you know, it's a nice little idea and everything. I mean, I think I paid like 40 bucks for this, and it's you know, like, I mean, if I were to go back to Princess Auto, they'd probably give me a brand new tube. But it's going to cost me more to drive there and drive back than me putting a patch on. So let's take a look and see how we make out. Okay, let's see where I've got so far. So I took the cotter pin out. There's a washer. Took the valve cap off. Took the valve stem out with the valve stem tool. And these are just used to take the cotter pin out. So I got the tire upside down. I'm going to show you how I'm just going to take this side out, not the other side. And we're going to flip this over to here. Now you notice I just have a piece of old rod sitting around, because you know what? That's the best thing to do, is to have something like this so you have somewhere to mount it, because it's kind of difficult, this flopping around your bench and everything else. So yeah, we're going to take this off. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, the tools I'm going to use, and let's get to it right now. Okay, let's start off. Yeah, I just use a little bit of silicone spray. I find this a lot better than trying to fool around with some soap and water and stuff. And I just got 2 of these spoons. These are very low cost and cheap. So I mean, depending on your tire, you can just lift it up on one side here, and then you grab the other end, you hook it in, and try not to pinch your tube as well while you're in there. I might have to try it this way. Oh man. I tell you that there, it should come off easy. Okay, now we'll turn it over and push the tube through, and I should be able to see if I could just get a little more room here. I should be able to pull this up and out. There we go. You can see it coming there. I should be able to pull this out without totally dismounting on the other side. So you can see how that's coming there. And the rod in the center sure does help a lot. You know, you imagine you'd be fighting with this on the ground. So like I say, the spray comes in handy right about now, because I can just spray a little bit in there, and that will make it so much easier for this to come out. You can see how it's coming out now. Now this isn't that difficult. I'm just going to put a little more spray in here. And I think we're almost there. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to put some air in this. Then we're going to find out where the leak is. I just got to put the valve stem, the valve core back in, and we're good. I will tell you, taking this off, you take a look right here. You can see the rim's bent a bit because this is like the cheapest, crappiest rim you could possibly get. So we're going to work with it, and let's see how we make out with the tube. Okay, let's put some air in the tube. Now generally, you can just rub your hand around it and see where the leak is going. Sometimes the valve stem itself, like the core. Just inflate it a little bit more. I'm not seeing any leaks anywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to get some soapy water and spray it, because I thought I would have seen the leak real fast. Oh, right here, right there. I can feel the air coming out. Right there. And you know what I bet you this is from? I've shown this in the past where I fixed a snowblower tire, where the inside of the rim is bad, where it's got some sharp edges on the inside of the rim like weld slag, and I bet you the inside of this rim has got weld slag on it. So I'm going to mark that spot, and then we're going to put a patch on it and see how we make out. Okay, so I just want to show you that spot. You can see right here. Yeah, that's been tore up. There's something inside that rim, so I'm taking the tire right off the rim because I got a feeling there's something in there that's pinching on here. So let's take a look. Okay, so I got the tire off. You just spray a little bit of silicone lube there. You can just pull it off with your hand. It's not hard. If we take a good close look there, see how that was welded? These two pieces have been slag welded more or less. Yeah, so that's where the puncture came from, because well, they're not very good at manufacturing, to tell you the truth, and that's why there's a puncture in that tube. So I'm going to show you how I fix this. Okay, so that's the fix right there. You just put your tape on all the way around, really nice, and You see where the valve stem comes out? I'll just put a little slot in there so that the valve stem can go through. And that's the best way I found, because yeah, this has got some weld slag on it there, and you'd be forever wire brushing them, and then you have to repaint it and everything else. I find it's easier just to put some black electrical tape on it and then patch up the tube, put it back in, install it, and it should be good to go. So let's see if we can put a patch on this and get it sealed up. Okay, you see that little spot there? So I cleaned that up with some brake cleaner, and then I just put one little spot where the hole is, and I've got one of these patches like this, and you take the foil off the back, and then all I'm going to do is just put some cement on this side. And you don't got to go crazy with it, you just put enough just to cover it. Wipe my finger off there, just let it sit for a second. And you can see the spot right there, right? Okay. Just going to put this over top where it is. And just keep pressing it down. Now, just going to take just this little washer. So it'll apply some more direct pressure down to that. There. Now I'm going to let that sit for about a half an hour, and then I'll bring you back. Well, it's been about a half an hour. Let's take a look here. There we go, right there. Now these are actually, years and years ago, these are automotive tube patches. There's a little different procedure to go with it, but I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of time and effort on this. So if we take a look here, now we've got it right side up. So let's continue with what I'm doing. So I got to put the valve stem back in, and then we'll well, I'll show you what we're going to do, because you got to put the tire on first. So now we're on the top side here. You can see where I cut out the spot here for the tube to go in. You see how they've drilled this? I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there's all kinds of little bits of chards and everything else around there. So I mean, that will dig into your valve stem. So that's why I cut it on the back side, and then I'll push the stem through here. So I'll bring you back. We'll put the tire on, and on the top side, and then we'll put the tube in. Okay, so let's put the tire on. Very easy. Just slip it on. Come on. I mean, these are not hard to do. So there's the first half there, right? Now you take your tube and stuff your tube inside. Try to start it off where the valve stem is going to stick through. So right in here, stick it inside, get the valve stem to come up through the hole. There you go, just like that. Now what I like to do is put this all in first. You can see how I'm going all the way around here. I'm putting this all in first from this side. Okay, so it's all in there now, right? All I have to do is just mount it on the complete. So, I mean, it's not hard at all. I mean, these are very easy to work on. And make sure you don't lose your valve stem here. So let me just start off here. And I'm just doing this all by hand. come on now. There. Usually these will just slip right on, so I'm just going to try a little more spray here, because these really, you don't even need much tools to put these on with. Okay. Just that this tire is, it's not the best. Come on now. There. Okay. So now I have to put the valve core in, and then we'll put some air. Okay, so it's been sitting there for about maybe 15 minutes, and I put 30 psi in. Okay, this is going to be reading upside down for you. 30 psi. So it's not leaking no more. And I'll install it back on the Dolly, and I think that's a good fix. So that's it. The Dolly's all fixed. The pressure's holding, and I will tell you something. In my experience, every time I bought one of these low-cost Dollys, well, you're lucky if you can get a couple of months out of using them before all that slag on the inside of the rim punctures a hole. So I mean, I've had people come over and ask me to just patch the tube, and I'm going, you know what, there's more to it than that. You have to take the tire off because there's something in there that's making the hole. So when you're thinking about buying one of these, well, be prepared to have a little bit of a patch kit, some electrical tape, and fixing it yourself, because it seems like they're all like this. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give you a little bit of an insight of how to actually put a patch on a tube. You know, take the tire off, put the tire on. It's not that hard, but you know what? These are so low cost. You know what? After a couple of years, these tires are so bad that after a couple of years, they crack up and they split so bad, I end up buying the no flat tires and put them on and resolve all these problems. So for a lot of you that are thinking about buying a Dolly, if you can find one that's got the no flat tires on it already, it's probably worth buying rather than go with some of this stuff here that I think is just, you named it, crap. Thanks for joining me here today. Come back again. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. See some interesting things that you might not see somewhere else. Cheers.